the leader in talk radio on the Internet, right here on K98Talk.com.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 1-800-513-6154. That's 1-800-513-6154. Again, 1-800-513-6154. Call now.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
Alright folks, this is Rick Robinson with you. I want to tell you about some friends of mine from a company called Security Enforcement Specialists. When I ran my security agency for 12 years, I worked with one of these partners on a daily basis. He's been involved in this agency now, and with his other partner, they do have over 30 years of experience in the private security industry. If you own a business and you need someone to keep you or your customers or residents safe, then I highly recommend contacting Security Enforcement Specialists today. Give them a call at 405-703-1796. Again, that's 405-703-1796. Again, tell them Rick from K98 Talk sent you. Like I said, if you need the help, they are here for you. So make sure that you go look them up, check them out, and see what they can do.
Wrong way. Welcome to the place.
Joe had huge problems with the IRS.
I knew it was coming. I hadn't filed taxes since 1990.
All the IRS letters coming in added up to a nightmare.
To get up to like $68,000, my heart started beating fast. It's like, there's no way, man. I mean, I ain't going to be able to do this.
Then they stopped his paycheck.
So that's when I started making phone calls and found U.S. Tax Shield.
U.S. Tax Shield went to work immediately.
They just took the bull by the horns. What blew my mind is he called the IRS right then and there.
So why is U.S. Tax Shield A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau? Joe knows.
They saved me a ridiculous amount of money.
If you owe more than $10,000 to the IRS or state, choose the company Joe chose, U.S. Tax Shield.
It was the best decision I made. U.S. Tax Shield is the way to go. Life is good. Thank you, Lord.
Call 800-471-3287.
U.S. Tax Shield. Boo-rah. Yes.
800-471-3287. 800-471-3287.
The Internet will never be the same. You're listening to K98Talk.com.
Whoa! Good God, y'all. What is it good for? Absolutely. Let's get started again.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Well, the trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant. It's just that they know so much that isn't so.
Welcome to the Red State Town Hall program. I'm your host, Primo Maldoni. My co-host, Ken Brown, will join me in a couple of minutes. Please visit the show's website at redstatetownhall.com. While you're there, be sure to like us on both Facebook and Twitter. Wish to contact us, the email address is primo, P-R-E-M-O, at redstatetownhall.com. Our show's broadcast here on Red State Talk Radio, America's premier grassroots conservative internet talk radio network. The show is also syndicated through iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Podomatic, TalkStream Live, Player.fm, Roku, and at least a dozen other websites. You can listen to the station using their Android, iPhone, and BlackBerry apps. Visit the station's website, redstatetalkradio.com, to download the appropriate app for your smartphone. If you don't have a smartphone, you can listen using any phone on the station's 24/7 listener line provided by TalkStream Live by dialing the following. For Studio A, 605-562-4209, and for Studio B, 518-712-0045. Before we get started, let's give a shout out to our AM, FM, and digital affiliates: WDDQ, FM 92.1, Adel, Georgia; WSFB, 1490 AM, Talk 97.7 FM, Quitman, Georgia; WJNW, AM 1650, Hermitage, Tennessee; Talk Radio, AM 1620, KTFL, Gilbert, Arizona; WMQL Radio, FM 105.5, Brevard, North Carolina; Kaufman County Talk Radio, AM 1680, KCTR, Terrell, Texas, Tax Pro Radio, Gainesville, Georgia, WCNR, Digital, West Virginia, and K98Talk.com. With that, let's bring on our co-host, Mr. Ken Brown. Mr. Brown, how you doing today, sir?
Well, I'll tell you what, Primo, I'm softening up on this climate change thing.
Oh yeah, so they've converted you, huh?
Well, I mean, think about it. Yesterday was 72 degrees here in Atlanta, so mid-December, 72 degrees.
You're convinced now, huh?
I'm good.
Yeah, it was nice weather up here in Tennessee too. It was in the 70s, low to mid 70s, I guess, and pretty nice day. A little bit cloudy at times, but nice weather. So, yeah, I guess we've been wrong all this time.
I think so. I think maybe there's something to it. I think I should be thanking Obama for flying out to L.A. and his wife flying back another big ass plane. Just a couple hours after him to go to L.A. and
yeah, that's several times they've done that crap.
The carbon footprint that they've that's just accelerating the global warming process and giving me good weather.
Yeah, this stupid climate summit they had. What did that really accomplish other than figuring out a way for a bunch of people to get rich over this stupid thing? All the carbon credits and all that stuff.
All about control, Primo. Yeah. All about control.
Yeah. Supposedly they're going to use satellites to verify whether certain countries are complying or not. But the reality is, what the hell are they going to do about it?
Well, it's funny is that the United States of America, that it means that if we just stopped doing what we're doing, it wouldn't mean anything.
Well, yeah, I actually saw a thing the other day that literally, if we went back to the U.S., which is supposedly we're supposed to be, we're awful supposedly.
Yeah.
If we went back to horse and buggy days and just quit driving cars and everybody started riding bicycles and whatever. And we went solar and blah blah blah. All these things. It would be basically. I think he said it'd be like 0.1 degree difference or whatever. So even using their own stupid models, which are stupid and don't work. It's just ridiculous. And the thing is, have you heard this term? They talk about the Earth has a fever and we have to cure it. Have you heard this stupid slogan?
Yes, I've heard it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me ask a question. And I think you could stump just about any environmentalist who thinks this way. Oh, the Earth has a fever, huh? Okay. Exactly what is the normal temperature of the Earth?
Yeah, what's normal?
What is normal? Mm-hmm. Let's go back to the Ice Age. Was that normal? And let's go back now. Think about the Ice Age, of course, now. There was no industrialized society in the Ice Age. So what the hell caused that? And when we had warmer periods in our past, what the hell caused that? Because, again, man was not the cause. See, the whole idea is supposedly man is causing this. And even though for 18, 19 years we've had no global warming, they can't even explain that either.
And let's not forget the ClimateGate that...
Well, it was all faked anyway.
Yeah, we found out that the so-called scientists were fudging numbers to keep their own jobs.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like I just said, for 18, 19 years, we've had no global warming. But back in the past, when we supposedly had global warming, those numbers were being fudged. So
exactly.
Duh.
Yeah, the numbers were being fudged before the Earth had no gain in temperature. So maybe we haven't had any gain in temperature at all.
And you know what? We talked about this in the 70s. There were magazine articles saying that we're getting a new ice age. Well, guess what? I think I mentioned this maybe a week or two ago. That theory's coming out again now. And the reason it's coming out is, guess what? Because we've had no global warming for the last 18, 19 years. So guess what? We screwed up, and now we're about to bring upon us the ice age again. Give me a break.
Oh, that's what they're swinging back to now?
Yes. No, not all of them, but that's starting to percolate.
Oh, it is?
It's starting to come around again. Yes.
So the thing about Al Gore and the half of California being underwater is not true anymore.
Well, that, one of his predictions, I think, was Florida, some parts of Florida be underwater, New York would be underwater, the polar ice caps will be completely melted, blah, blah,
flooding
blah.
in the coastlines,
And of course, the opposite is actually true. There's more ice in the ice caps than ever before that we know of. So, again, that kind of, if I were going to think anything, I'd be thinking global cooling is what I'd be thinking.
Well, this is the whole thing with liberals' work, is that whatever is happening at the present time, it's a catastrophe. This is what's going on.
Yeah, and so we need to tax you, and we need this, and we need that.
Yeah.
Once you do this, and
we got to change our behavior, and don't forget to pay us money because we got to control you.
Yeah. Well, here's what's so dumb about the whole thing about carbon credits. Now, people talk about this is the way to do this. This makes sense. And I'm thinking, no, it doesn't make sense because think about this. Let's say supposedly we don't meet our quota on CO2 emissions and whatever. So what we're supposed to do is buy carbon credits from other countries, let's say India, that we know for sure is not going to do it.
Right, China.
And that supposedly offsets what we've done. But all that does is that will not reduce, assuming you thought that CO2 emissions were a bad thing. I don't really think they are, but let's say you did. That does not reduce them by one single anything. It just exchanges money between two countries.
Yes. Yeah.
That's all it does. So if that happens, what's the point? It's just a way, I'm telling you, it's just a way to make a lot of people rich.
Yeah.
Look at Al Gore, for God's sake. He is loaded now.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that really bugs me. It's these people that preach this stuff, Obama, Al Gore, they fly in Learjets. They fly in huge, big-ass planes that have a carbon footprint that me and you couldn't make up in 10 years. Yeah. And it just kills me. So if you believe this stuff, aren't you going to do something to show that you're going to follow that? If you're preaching it, I mean, I don't go to a church and the preacher preaching something and I see him in town doing something different. I'm not going to that church.
Well, yeah, if you did go to church and did that, you probably wouldn't go there very long. You'd pick another church, kind of thing. Pick another preacher, right?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, these guys. Oh, well, we got more stuff to talk about than global warming, but.
Okay, well.
The bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, it's a hoax. It is nothing but it's just. And this whole idea that the science is settled, there is no argument. I mean, good. Give me a break.
And all you got to do is say, this is a man who says this is worst thing in the world, way beyond ISIS. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and the new one they've come up with, and I know you've heard this, is they literally start to say now, Ken, that global warming is causing terrorism.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's
about as stupid as you could possibly get.
This is where you're thinking, okay, you're calling me a fool. Now you're making this personal. You want me to believe that craziness? There's a whole lot of words I want to use besides craziness. But you're calling me a fool. You think I'm a fool now to believe something like that? That the weather is causing these people to do what they do, chop people's heads off and rape women and do whatever you want to do. Are you kidding me?
Well, even let's just pretend it's true, and of course it's not. But let's just pretend that the weather is causing people to go to jihad. Okay. Well, look at the droughts in California. Is anybody in California chopping heads off? And look at just pick a part of the world and ask yourself: is the common denominator weather or is it Islam?
Well, I mean, Katrina. Did people kill other people because of Katrina? And speaking of that, hurricanes. When's the last hurricane you heard of?
Oh, we were supposed to be getting more of them, and of course, the last few years we've been getting less. And of course, that's because it's not global warming anymore; it's climate change. So, like we've always said, it doesn't matter positive, negative. It's always due to climate change, and so that's why we're having less hurricanes now because of climate change. It just
shows you the liberal mentality because, you know, when this terrorist attack happened in San Bernardino, it's gun control. You know, it's not about who pulls the trigger. It's about gun control.
Well, you know, the White House spokesman, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Josh Ernst.
Yeah.
Referred to San Bernardino terror attack as incidents of gun violence.
Gun violence. Yeah.
Gun violence.
Yeah.
You talk about a mixed
Not
message.
terror.
I mean, well, see, apparently, the good thing is, let's give him credit. Obama finally called what happened in San Bernardino a terrorist attack. Okay, fine. But of course, he's still pushing the anti-gun agenda and all kind of stuff. But here we go. His White House spokesman calls it gun violence. And that's so...
And we're not, Primo, we are not at war with Islam. Get that straight. We're not at war with Islam. We're at war with ISIS. And ISIS, there's no such thing as Islamic jihadism here.
Well, supposedly ISIS has nothing to do with Islam.
No.
Even though Islamic is the first word in their name of their...
But it has nothing to do with it. Don't get that mixed up.
Don't get that... it's so silly. It's just it's beyond stupid at this point. Let's move on. We got some other stuff to kind of. Have you seen? First of all, the Daily Caller's reporting that the feds have given a sweetheart deal to a firm linked to medical data fraud. This bunch has been caught already, fudging the books, and they just got another big new contract having to do with Obamacare and stuff. The corruption in this government, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then, talk about corruption. Did you see this new report? Again, the Daily Caller's done a good job of stuff this week about Obama telling the National Security Council and the FBI to downplay the terrorist angle of San Bernardino. Have you read that story?
I read it. Yes, I did.
Well,
that didn't surprise me.
No, that doesn't surprise me at all. But that's why it took the FBI, several days to call it a terrorist attack. And from reading the article, the FBI essentially, off the record, said immediately it was a terrorist attack because immediately it was apparent to everyone it was a terrorist attack. But because the White House sent the word down that, oh, don't you do that, you got to investigate it completely before you can do that, and blah, blah, blah. And they're sitting there trying to squash all this stuff. Maybe Obama would be able to recognize a terrorist attack if he'd actually show up for his national security meetings every day like he's supposed to.
No.
We've talked about this before about how many of those he's missing. It's either 40% or 60%. I forget which.
Well, you don't need to when you have the ISIS as a JV team. Why do it? Why even go to those meetings?
Yeah.
See how stupid this is? This is how stupid the leadership we have in this country. That's how stupid. Trump, people, and he can say the craziest thing, or the media thinks is crazy, and his numbers go up because people are fed up with the past 7 years, just like you and me.
Well, the thing is, this past week, he made the comment about, stopping all Muslim immigration and stuff. And of course, everybody went crazy. Oh, you can't do that. You're racist. You're a bigot. You're this and you're that and all that kind of stuff. Well, guess what? His poll numbers went up after that. and then on top of that, I don't know if you saw this article. This was, it was on the Gateway Pundit. I think I have it listed on the website, I believe. There's a video out where, remember the Iranian hostage crisis back in the Jimmy Carter days? Well, guess what? Jimmy Carter banned Iranian immigration from the U.S. and deported Iranian students from the country out back to Iran during that crisis.
But there was no hubbub about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. They're acting like this has never happened before. And trust me, during World War II, I would think that at the very least, I don't think we were encouraging German and Japanese and Italian immigration at that time. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was the case during World War II. This is so stupid. It's not the country we've come to love, is it? It's quickly turning into something else, something ugly. And the thing is that, ISIS, it's no wonder ISIS has grown to the extent it has under this president, because this guy, he's clueless. I mean, he just refuses to look at things the way they are. Some people like to paint a rosy picture and imagine the world like they'd want it to be, with unicorns and rainbows everywhere. But that's not the world we live in. I'd rather have a president who recognizes the way things actually are and base his policy decisions based on fact and based on the reality of the situation, not based on their own political beliefs and what they wished the world was like. I'm tired of being lied to, honestly. I'm tired of this president getting in front of a microphone and saying that ISIS is contained, and then the next day Paris happens. I just don't lie to me anymore. I'm tired of it. I think we can't wait to get somebody else in the White House. And God, I hope it's not Hillary Clinton, because I think that's just more of Obama. Well, she's as big a liar as he is. I mean, yeah, you've got a story about that too. Well, yeah. If we only we'll talk about that here a little bit later. But if you only forget everything else about Hillary Clinton, if you only paid attention to what happened in Benghazi, that's enough for me. I don't have to know about all her other lies. Just Benghazi alone, yeah, I agree with you. I think she should be in jail for that one. You may get your wish, Ken, here after the first year, because apparently I would love to see that. This FBI investigation is not looking good for Hillary, and it's going to be hard to run for president if you're in federal custody. I think if she makes it into the general election, that what they should do, if it was me and if I was in charge of whoever the candidate is, if it's Trump or if it's Cruz or whoever it is, I would get a commercial with those folks that, the family members of the ones that died in Benghazi. And I would say, what did Hillary Clinton tell you? What did she tell you? And let them sit there and say, she told me it was a video. Cause she said just this, last week, that she did not tell families that. She's denied she said that. And she says that they misunderstood and that, basically she's blamed it on the quote, the fog of war. Well, Primo, she gets, no matter what she told them, which I know that's what she told them, but she got up and made a speech on the same day, and she said it was a video. Right there in front of the caskets at Andrews Air Force Base. I heard her. I watched it. Dressed in black and said that it was due to this video. She said it right there. So I know she told that to the families. Well, here's the thing. You think that, let's just say that these families are lying about her. Do you think all the families are lying to her? Because every single one of the families of the 4 dead Americans all say the same thing. I just don't think they would have that type of coordination. She told the whole country, Primo. Well, like you said, she told the whole country in a couple of different speeches, and like I say, they're at the Air Force Base. They're at the airport, in front of the caskets, in front of the families, in front of the nation, on TV. I heard it. You heard it. It's on videotape. Why would you even go on TV and say you didn't say it when you did say it? Yeah. She thinks she can get away with anything and everything. And still be president of the United States? This woman she's delusional. Well, the thing is, she's been able to do this her entire quote career. So why would she change her behavior? There's been no reason for her to change her behavior. She has gotten away with this forever, and the press, supports her. But one thing I want to bring up, there's if you get a chance, read this. There's an article on Red State Town Hall from the Washington Post, and it talks about Hillary Clinton's most repugnant lie. Now, it's talking about her lie about Benghazi, about the video, about what she told the families. But now, something to think about. This article about her lie, about her Benghazi lie, is from the Washington Post.
Yeah.
Now, the Washington Post is a very liberal, very progressive newspaper.
Yeah.
When it comes to D.C., you got the Washington Times and the Washington Post. The Times is more so conservative. The Post is definitely to the left. Mm-hmm. And when the Post says this, you're starting even to lose the band. You're starting to, the rah-rah section starting to turn on you.
Yeah.
And I guess they're starting to get tired of it. And, it's kind of like if you got someone who's embarrassing you and you try defending them and you defend them over and over and over again, at some point you kind of get tired of it. You think, what? Come on now. Quit doing this. And I guess the Washington Post had their fill, maybe. I don't know.
I just think the whole tide is turning this year, this election cycle, because of in the debates when you got the crowd, when they ask a stupid question that tries to turn people against each other, and the crowd goes, oh, they moan and they clap when Cruz comes up and says, you're turning this person against this person, this person against this person, and people just stand, almost a standing ovation against the questions from the media. I think that people are just tired of it. I know I am. I know you are. And I think it's across the nation. I don't think it's just in the South or just over here, just this pocket there.
No, and the thing is, her campaign is struggling like you wouldn't believe. And matter of fact, she was supposed to be, I forget, I don't know if it was Iowa, New Hampshire, wherever, one of the early states, I'm sure. She was supposed to have a rally there, and she was running late. And there's a video where the person comes out and says she's running late, that it was unavoidable, and she's running like 2 hours late. And they're trying to, and the people started groaning and moaning and, excuse me. Now, these are her supporters.
Yeah.
And they're trying to sit there and get them to stick around and not leave, because if she shows up an hour too late and no one's there, that'd really be a problem.
Not for me.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying from a cosmetic standpoint, that's not a good image you want to have.
Well, that's your base. That's the people that follow you, that worship the ground you walk on.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not so sure they don't pay people to go to those things.
Well, some of them do. I mean, it's been proven over and over again that Democrats, a lot of these rallies and stuff, they literally are paying like $10 an hour for people to stand there and wave stupid signs. That the thing is, when you see these signs and if they're not homemade, I mean, and they look really nice like signs, and who do you think made those signs?
Yeah. I know.
You think they spent their own money and had those? Because think about it. You see the same sign throughout the crowd, and you see multiple versions of the same sign. They're professionally printed. You think the people who came to that rally paid for those signs? No.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
We're running late. Let's go to break, and we come back. We got plenty more to talk about, but stick with us. This is the Red State Town Hall. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Red State Talk Radio, WRS Cleveland.
Hi, this is Jeff Carlisi from the band 38 Special. The mainstream media has failed the American people once again. Internet radio networks like Red State Talk Radio will not fail you. Tune in 24 hours a day. Studios A and B. Great conservative programming around the clock. Red State Talk Radio, the dominant force in Internet conservative talk radio.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom36.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom36.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 36.com. Go to freedom36.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom36.com.
Do you use Viagra or Cialis? Have you been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? What if we could promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for Viagra, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call 800-610-3497 and get your 44 pills for $99. Stop overpaying for Viagra. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in an unmarked package. Call us right now. 800-610-3497. 800-610-3497. That's 800-610-3497.
If you're diabetic, this message could change your life. Is your blood sugar out of control even when you do all the right stuff? Are you afraid of diabetic blindness and the risk of amputation, as well as all those other side effects? Well, you should be. Is there anything that could help manage your blood sugar? Nobetes is a natural supplement that may quickly and dramatically lower your blood sugar.
My name is Bob Corder. I've been using Nobetes for about 3.5 to 4 months now, and in the first 3 months, I've actually lowered my blood sugars from 500s down to 139, and then it dropped to 88 to 93.
My name is Kirsten. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and while taking Nobetes, my blood sugar levels dropped from 295 to 115 in just 1 day.
The FDA hasn't evaluated these statements, and Nobetes isn't intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. But for many, it's helped drop their blood sugar. So if you've been evaluated with high blood sugar, don't delay. Evaluate Nobetes now. Call 800-554-7159 and get 2 bottles free. Just cover shipping and handling. Call 800-554-7159. That's 800-554-7159.
Hi, this is Primo Mondoni, General Manager for Red State Talk Radio. We've been bringing you the very best in grassroots, common sense, conservative talk radio for over 5 years now. One thing I've learned in those 5 years is that internet radio is a tough, competitive business. And if the station is going to advance that next level, it's going to require a significant increase in investments in both personnel and infrastructure. Our listenership grew by 42% in 2014, and with our ever-expanding listener base, it's time that we begin the move to a more listener-supported model to provide the station's future financial needs. Therefore, we're asking our loyal listeners to consider making a donation to help us reach our goals. Monthly subscriptions begin at only $2 per month. So please, help us restore conservative principles to our republic. Visit our website and become a Red State Talk Radio supporter today.
Red State Talk Radio. The Talk Monster.
The path to restoring our republic was laid down by our founding fathers. The principles of freedom, liberty, personal responsibility, and limited government are conservative ideals we will never abandon. America is listening. Grassroots, common sense, conservative talk radio. It's on the internet. Tune in now. Red State Talk Radio, featuring some of the most popular internet talk show hosts in America today. Are you listening? RedStateTalkRadio.com.
Okay, we're back. And we're going to talk a little bit more about Hillary Clinton here in just a minute, I guess, probably, but in presidential politics. But one thing I wanted to be sure, I want to mention this, and we may not go over it all that much, but there's an article on the website, RedStateTalkRadio.com, from the Mirror in the UK. There's been an investigation in trying to pick up all the pieces on ISIS. And this article will scare the crap out of you, Ken. This thing is talking about ISIS's plot for world domination. The plans they have for education and industry and jihad and all this kind of stuff.
it's scary. These guys are not just fly by night. They have a plan. And thus far, for the most part, they've been doing pretty good at implementing the plan. So,
well, when you've got and I think this is huge, is when you've got a terrorist attack and it includes a woman, you've now opened the door to a lot of different things. You come here, you're not expecting a woman to pull out a gun, start shooting. I know I'm not. And whether she was the instigator or I know they both were in this together, but she comes over here and got we talked about this last week. She got a brand new 6-month-old baby. It's freaky. It's scary.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't think that. But again, like we talked about, I think we mentioned briefly the other day, is some parts of the world motherhood is not the same thing as it is here. And apparently, the idea of doing something like what she did and getting killed and leaving behind a 6-month-old baby is something that they don't look at children like we look at children. They just don't.
But that's got to be.
They don't look at human life. Yeah.
That's exactly what needs to be educated here. That needs to be shown to this country, because for me, it's very personal when I think of a mom just purposely I won't see my baby again. I just had this baby. And everything the mothers love that goes into all the nurturing and stuff when you have a baby, and that's your gift from God kind of thing, and to know you're going to be riddled with bullets in a matter of hours. You're going to die for this, or could die for this. It's just beyond me, and I think that's beyond most, if not all, the people here in this country.
Well, it's a foreign concept. The whole idea that you would throw away chance to raise your own child based on what? Supposedly a higher cause, I guess. I mean, I don't think Americans think that way. For most,
of course not. But if that's what's happening, if that's what's going on with this ISIS propaganda, it needs to be educated here, or shown the people here, and under this president, it won't be, Primo.
Yeah.
Islam is his baby. It's the way he was raised. I mean, that's his faith. Whether you think he's a Christian or not, I don't think he is. And the Islamic faith means a lot to him. He said the Holy Quran. The way he talks, he shows me that Christ is not a center of his world, and Islam is to me that if there's a center, that's it.
You bring up a good point, and we've talked about him. A lot of people think he's a closet Muslim or whatever you want to call it, and think that maybe he's not Christian, even though he professes to be. But let me ask you a question, though. I mean, seriously, when he talks about Islam, he does it in glowing, loving terms.
Every time.
Have you ever heard him talk about Christ, Christianity, or being a Christian, or the Bible in those kinds of ways? Have you ever heard him do that? I never have.
No. In fact, it's usually in a derogatory way.
Yeah, he usually denigrates Christians and talks about how,
the Crusades or, whatever. Try to turn things that historically into, well, this is what, being Christian was all about. It's about killing and stuff, and in our history of killing. And look what in Islam is a new loving faith. And I'm like, huh?
Well, did you hear the thing the other day? It's about a week ago. He was talking about the true meaning of Christmas. He was using the Peanuts movie, the old Peanuts cartoon about that. You remember the old Peanuts cartoon with the little skinny tree and
all that kind of stuff. And he was explaining that was the true meaning of Christmas. Didn't matter what kind of tree you had. And I'm thinking, no, that's not it. It's that Jesus Christ was born, and he is the Savior of the world, etc. That never entered into what his explanation. And matter of fact, what's funny is if you go and watch that old Peanuts cartoon again from years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, if you go and watch that again, Ken, during the part of the cartoon, Linus comes out and talks about the true meaning of Christmas, and he's not talking about the stupid Christmas tree.
No, I know.
He's talking about Jesus Christ born as Savior, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, goes right down the normal traditional tune. And I don't think it's just a coincidence that he thinks like that and says things like that. I think it's because it,
So I think it's not that he has to be a practicing Islam where he's going to bring a mat out, and kneel on the mat. I don't think he's that kind of Muslim, if you want to call him a Muslim. I think he's just that's the way he was raised, and I think it's a solid foundation in his world. And being a Christian, and him saying he's being a Christian, that just says it's okay to lie. It's okay to make the Christians look bad because that promotes Islam.
Mm. Well, the thing is, he was not raised as a Christian. He was raised as a Muslim.
I know he wasn't. I know he was.
That's where his entire. Supposedly, he became a Christian as an adult, and to be honest with you, I hate to say it, but he became a Christian as an adult because of his political career.
Of course,
that's. I know I guess we're cynical or something, but I'm just telling you that's.
We're just saying the facts. I mean, he goes in front of Stephanopoulos, whatever his name is, Stephanopoulos.
Yeah,
and he said, and it's on tape. You go back and watch it. And he says, "My faith." He says, "My faith." Those words, "my faith" in Islam. He talks about Islam is my faith, and Stephanopoulos says he has to correct him. And then,
several times he's given speeches about Islam, and he says our faith, our religion, I'm thinking, wait a minute, I thought you're supposed to be a Christian. What are you talking about? Yeah, he does that all the time. He actually does that. He's done that numerous times in the past several years. I mean, he just has, and
the media just glosses over it,
acts like he didn't say it.
Now see, that's where the media. That's where you have to go. Okay, the media's. They're in cahoots.
Well, they're complicit. I mean, they are. They have been.
They are.
They are.
Because they should be throwing the spotlight on those comments and letting the world see it and go, there you are. There's the real Obama. No, they correct him and he gets to go, oh yeah, right.
Well, in some cases they don't correct him. They just don't even. They just act like he never said it.
Either way,
and if it's pointed out to them, they go, "Oh, he just misspoke," and they let it go. Let's talk about Hillary a little bit. Two things this week happened having to do with her email situation. Number one, there's a story came out. I don't have it listed in the notes here, but I remember reading it. I don't remember which website it was, but there apparently is a problem, Ken, that they can't find, supposedly at this point, they can't find a single email between Hillary and her IT director. Okay?
Not one?
Well, supposedly not one. Now, let me ask you something. Is that possible that you have someone directing your IT infrastructure for several years and you don't have a single communication with them by email?
Not if you deleted them.
Well, yeah, good point. But so far, they've not been able to find them. Of course, now we know the FBI is going through the server and trying to pick all that stuff up. Now, whether or not to get everything or not, I don't know. But they're working on that, supposedly. So that was the first thing. And you could say, well, maybe they just never did. And so, maybe. But this might be the smoking gun. There's a new email that shows the Pentagon. The Pentagon communicated with the State Department the night of Benghazi and told them that they had forces ready to respond to the Benghazi attack, and they were just waiting on the word, the go ahead. And literally in the email, it says something like, we've got forces ready, and they're spinning up, which means they're getting ready, they're spinning up, they're getting the choppers ready, they're getting the planes ready. All we're doing is asking for your permission to go. And, of course, they never got it. So the thing is, Hillary Clinton, during her Benghazi testimony, said they didn't have any forces within the area that could respond in a timely fashion. Now, the thing is, like we've talked about before, Ken, when something like this happens, you send the closest forces you have to the area, because you never know how long the situation is going to last, whether it's going to last 30 minutes or 30 hours.
Right.
And the Benghazi thing lasted 8-9 hours.
And they had no idea.
And the thing is, of course, they could have gotten there if they'd left immediately, but they hesitated, didn't do it, and then it was too late. But that's just...
Well, am I wrong? They could have saved two of them. The two that they couldn't save the ambassador.
The ambassador and the other guy that was with him. No, they probably would have died anyway. But the two guys that were on top of the roof.
Yes.
Those two guys. I guess that was what, Glenn Doherty and.
Which was several hours later.
Oh, this was several hours later. Yes.
That could have been.
Those guys could have maybe gotten out alive. And here's the thing: even if they wouldn't have, you still have to make the attempt. You cannot just say, "Oh well, it's too late," or "It's too far," or what. And here's the thing: let's pretend that Hillary Clinton was truthful and they were too far and they couldn't have got there in time. That's not true, but let's just say that for a minute. Well, that tells me that her planning on the front end wasn't very good, because she should have never had people there without backup that could have responded. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you not have, when you have an embassy in a volatile area like that, do you not keep troops and stuff on standby for that sort of thing? Isn't that what our military's for?
Well, let's just also point out the over 600 emails that wanted to bump up security that she said she never got.
Well, yeah, like beforehand when they were asking for increases in security and they were denied and or ignored.
But she said that over 600 emails and she never saw one.
Yeah. Well, that's a problem too. Why the hell is that? Why the hell did you get over 600 emails about upgrading security at a State Department facility
and you never heard about it?
And you never saw them? What the hell's wrong with that? There's something wrong there.
Yeah, no matter what you believe, there's incompetence, there's lying, there's something. I mean, it's all under your watch.
Well, like you said, somebody's lying, which I'm sure Hillary is, and or somebody's incompetent, which I'm sure Hillary is. So I think she's guilty on both those counts. But that's just me. But anyway, this email from the Pentagon on the night of Benghazi, and this email was sent out, I think, within like the first 30 minutes or something like that, and tell them, hey, we got forces ready. They're ready to go. They're warm. They're getting. They call it spinning up. In other words, they're like. When I hear that, I'm thinking choppers are getting warmed up and the rotors are running and everybody's grabbing their stuff and getting on those board those choppers and ready to go. Just wanting somebody to say, "Please go." And
let's not forget. Let's not forget Hillary's talking to her daughter and the Prime Minister of Egypt and telling them that it was a terrorist attack. That's and then you go in front of the families, like we talked about, and you say it was a video, and you tell the country it was a video. You're just a lying bee. No doubt. There's just no way around it.
That made me think of something. You said the lying bee, which everybody knows what you're talking about. A witch with a bee, I guess would be the way to say it.
Yeah, there you
go. Did you hear, first of all, 2 Fox News commentators this week got a little bit of trouble. Stacey Dash, by the way, is a beautiful young woman, was talking about basically, she said Obama doesn't give a shoot about terrorism, etc. And she got in trouble, and I think she got suspended. But the one that tops it all is Lieutenant, I guess it's Colonel Ralph Peters. I don't know if he's Lieutenant Colonel or Colonel. I forget which one, but he's Ralph Peters. He was going berserk over all this stuff, and literally called Obama a wussy with a P on the air.
He did,
and of course it went out over the air. And then Stuart Varney, who was the host, said, you can't be saying something like that on TV. He goes, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry," kind of thing. And he's been suspended too. Now, if you guys are on Facebook, there are a lot of little memes that have gone out now with Lieutenant, not Lieutenant Colonel, but he's either Colonel or Lieutenant Colonel, I forget which, but Colonel Peters and his terminology for Mr. Obama, and some of the stuff is just hysterical. Some of the stuff is just really funny. But you know what? I'm glad somebody finally said it. He is a wuss. He is. I've said this before. If I were in grade school with him, I would have been beating him up for his lunch money. I'm telling you, this guy is such a big wussy. I mean,
by the way, it is Lieutenant Colonel.
It is Lieutenant Colonel. Okay, I wasn't sure if he's Colonel, full blown Colonel or Lieutenant Colonel. I mean, Ken, is Obama your idea of a manly man? I mean,
not after that throw in Wrigley Field.
Oh yeah. Oh, watching him play sports. The time when he was doing the bowling and when he's throwing the baseball, and then the time when he was out there and he was shooting hoops. Now he's supposed to be a big basketball fan, right? And he's shooting hoops. And I'm not kidding you. He shot hoops and missed 20 or 30 in a row before he finally made a basket. Well, geez Louise. Now, I'm no athlete by any stretch of the imagination. Anybody who's seen my picture knows I'm not. I used to be maybe in the old days, but not anymore. But I guarantee you, it wouldn't take me 20 or 30 throws to make a basket on the basketball court. I can guarantee you that. Even if I had to sit there and cheat and get up close. I mean, I think I could still shoot a halfway decent basket even at my age. And I know I can throw a baseball better than that guy can. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could throw it for the pitcher's mound and get there without a hop. I don't know if I can do that or not. But
saying he throws like a girl is that's
an insult to girls.
It is. It's a huge insult to women.
Oh, he is. Have you seen the one where they've got a picture of Obama with all his makeup on and stuff? Have you seen that one?
No.
And it says something about what Colonel Peters called him. Whatever. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. A couple things real quick. Big shake-up in the Iowa poll. Cruz has soared to a lead in the Iowa poll. He's 10 points ahead of Donald Trump, believe it or not. So that's pretty interesting. And secondly, did you see this story about Ben Carson threatening to leave the GOP?
Yeah, I heard a couple of interviews with him on that subject.
Well, apparently he's got word that they're trying to rig the convention to make sure that he or Trump don't get the nomination. And he's kind of pissed about it.
I don't doubt it.
And I'm guessing Trump. I'm surprised Trump hadn't weighed in on this, but Trump has already said, as long as they treat me fine, I'm all right. But if they don't, I may go third party. He said that several times. And like I mentioned last week, there's a video. I think I sent you the video for Tucker Carlson talking about it, and he says, "I got news for you. He's already doing a third party run." In a sense.
Yeah. Well, I think back to Clinton and Perot and Bush, that election, and Perot, he had some steam back then, but Trump makes that look like it's mincemeat.
We have to remember Perot got 18-19% of the vote, and he would have done better than that, but because he quit and then came back, remember that deal?
Yeah,
that cost him a lot.
Yeah.
Trump, I don't know if you can win as a third party. I mean, when you start splitting the vote by 3, it makes it very difficult. Yeah. But here's the thing about Trump that people are not thinking about. And I sent you an Ann Coulter video about some of this stuff too.
I saw it. Yeah.
He crosses all kinds of lines. He just doesn't pull for Republicans and stuff. He's pulling people in from the Democrat Party. I'm telling you, he is.
And his numbers are going up.
Yes.
And this is, no matter what the media does, his numbers go up.
Well, think about this. He's at 38% the last poll I saw. 38%. Pick your poll. What if all the other people were to drop out right now? What do you think his poll numbers would be then?
Yeah.
I mean, goodness, it has to go up, wouldn't it?
Well, I think
I don't think that the people who vote for Cruz and Rubio and Fiorina, I don't think any of those people are going to vote for Clinton, right?
Right.
So they're either going to stay home or they're going to vote for Trump. And I don't know. We're out of time.
The Republican Party better be nice to Donald Trump.
The Republican Party is going to dissolve if they don't get their crap together. They could wind up being irrelevant.
Yes.
If they don't watch what they're doing.
They're close to that now.
You want to take us out, Ken?
If we lose freedom here, there is no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. Ronald Wilson Reagan, our 40th president of these United States.
That's it. We'll see you next time. We're out of here.